Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles. I'm going to show you how if you're a reptile keeper with a shitty back, you can use this tool. Well, we talk about this year's clutches. And again, if you're not on, oh, you know what I forgot today? I feel like an idiot. I forgot to put on my really cool bracelets today. I'm not used to wearing too much jewelry. But if you haven't checked those out, click the link, follow some animals. Caleb's polar bear is going into hibernation because it doesn't like Caleb. So it's like, piss off, Caleb. I'm going to go sleep now. So, but I really enjoy tracking my sea turtles and the lion and everything else. Kurt, how does your wife like hers?
She likes it. She wears her bracelet all the time.
She wears it all the time. I tried to be pretty good about mine, but I'm always worried the dog is going to like catch it because he's like, ah, I mean, like a crazy man.
I had to restring it.
Did he?
Yeah.
That turd bucket. So, you know, yeah, but I got to get better about that. They're really cool. Check those out. Then we're going to go over these pairings and tell you what all we're hoping to produce and why we did it. And then we're going to tell you our favorites. And then we're going to go to Patreon, which if you're not a member of, you should be. And we're going to tell you what is going to make the sales list and what we're doing to put an animal in our back pocket to further a project. Should we start from the top or should we start from the bottom?
Start in the middle.
That's not even okay. Top or bottom?
Bottom.
So as you heard it, Kurt likes to be a bottom. Let's go ahead and start there. This one will be a Ghi Bumblebee. We'll go ahead and pull her out. Oh, see, use it like a cane, plus it's a snake opening tool for tubs. And we are pairing her to, let me make sure I get this right, to a Super Pastel Firehead Xanthic male. The head Xanthic, I'm going to tell you, doesn't really matter in this clutch. That's not the point of it. Something will be possible head Xanthic, which is not the worry. The cool thing is we want to get that GHI and some other things. And so with that, there's just a lot of really cool genes in there to kind of put to this to make some really neat looking stuff. This is a snake that I wish we could avoid the spider in. I think the spider just kind of overpowers what the GHI can really do. So that's just my opinion. She did go for us for the first time last year. We'll see how she does in this bigger tub. I just moved her. She is a snake that likes a small tub, but she's really just, she needs that big size. So we're going to, hopefully she'll feed in there. We've always had to keep her in too small of a tub to get her to feed well. She kind of likes to be where she can touch all sides. So we're going to see if after having a clutch, that sometimes will kind of change her behavior a little bit. See, it doesn't get her really going. And I think you're going to try to peek out of there and probably tag my ass if I ain't careful. Let's not do that. There you go, girl. Slide her back in there. Next up will be our het pied knot. Why do we call it that? Oh, there's an old story about this snake. We got her in trade. You have some skin in there you were hiding. She was supposed to be a het pied. Well, she's not. So Kurt called her the het pied knot, and it just kind of stuck. We have kept her around because she's pretty solid about laying eggs. She's also a big clutch layer. These are good animals to have. If you don't have a nice, big, normal in your collection, well, you're doing it wrong. Get one. In my opinion, they're great to have. Here's the thing with that. Why would you want this? Well, she's going to drop, 7 to 10 eggs every year. And we just talked about, hey, holding back, in our last video, maybe on the Patreon side, when we do the Hellfire to the Super Pastel, if something comes out Super Pastel-like, we need to hold back a male and breed it to a normal or a single gene recessive so we can get some babies and see if we can pick out the two separate and see if it makes every baby have that to help us learn what is going on with that. This is a great snake for that project. She's going to give us enough eggs that we should get a definitive answer. And, she's not going to throw any other weird genes into the mix to muddy it all up. So having one of these girls is an amazing idea. So that's what she is here for. And she's just kind of, this year, we don't have any projects we're going to be able to use like that. So she's just making something with a lot of genes in it, which is why when you figure, not a lot of genes, that she's going to a scaleless head and a lemon blast. So we're going to start, and you'll see later on, we're going to hopefully hit full scaleless this year, or at least try for it. So we're going to get some scaleless head as well rolling, because we didn't do any of it last year. So we have a few clutches of that going on. So scaleless head, lemon blast to that for this year. Now, this next snake is close to Kurt's heart. It's an Orange Dream Pastel. I call her the Big Liar. The reason is this snake has never had eggs. Every year she looks like she swells up and she lays in a pile like this, and you think, man, that snake is going to lay eggs. She's got her side out. She's laying in a coil, and she never does it, ever. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. You just make me so angry. I did scare her. My bad. Sorry. Sorry, good snake. She never does it. So she just lies to you the whole time, gets you all excited and crushes your hopes. So she is the big liar. She's a really cool snake. I mean, this is just a straight pastel orange dream. We produced this in-house. I know. I really kind of startled you. I shouldn't have banged on the table for effect. I thought it'd be kind of cool, but I didn't mean to trip your balls out there. Really nice, healthy animal. There you go. Now you're starting to chillax. So this year, because she's been this big liar every year, we decided to pair her to one of our animals that is really good about just breeding anything. So she is going to be bred to our Bumblebee Apollo. He will breed a garden hose, a very successful breeder for us. And so our hope is we can get her to finally go for us by using him. You can see very healthy, nice looking, great snake. Just a big liar, the big liar. Get in there, you big liar. Come on, come on, there you go. Go on, I said. So next up is going to be what we always call the darkness. This is a snake that just looks very dark. Now this dark color, so far, despite our tries, has proven to not be genetic. So you see this super dark color, there's nothing special genetic about that. It almost looks hypermelanistic, or like an IMG boa, where it's going to increase in melanin, but it hasn't proven where we can do that on a regular basis. So I think it's just kind of a one-off. Neat snake though, getting all tied up in there. So this year we're going, and now she is, we do know that she is 100% het for true ghost. So 100% het for Axanthic and also ghost. So we'll be breeding her to a 100% het true ghost spider male to try to make true ghost. She has this cool rainbow sheen you get on the darker snakes. I don't know if that's going to pick up on there. It's not as good as it is on, say, a Suma, but this is just a cool snake overall. I really wish this dark color had proven genetic, but a lot of things happen because they just do and never prove genetic at all. There's some very, very wild looking ball pythons that have come out of Africa and been purchased by some very large name breeders over the years that they paid big money for that proved to be not genetic. So you will get occasionally odd looking things. Come on, can you get in there for me? That proved to be not genetic, and that was just one of them for us. So then up here we're going to get to the fire yellow belly. Now this is a snake that proved she can have a successful clutch this year. She's our one that we had to give several years off of breeding because she did have retained, not retained sperm, sorry. She did have a retained egg we had to do a little medical work on to get cleared. And then we gave her several years to recover. And once she got back to full health and size, we tried again with the caveat that if she retained an egg again, that would be the end of her for breeding purposes and she would just be a pet. She laid a nice, perfect clutch for us. I don't think it was perfect in the sense of the results, but healthy eggs, got them all passed, did good work. So this year she's also going to the Scaleless Head Lemon Blast. I think getting some fire in that full Scaleless project, especially with some pastel, so we could do some like Scaleless Fireflies, might be really cool. So we're working that. Oh man, this is one I'm really kind of excited about. Rawr. This is a big old girl here. So we're going to pair, this is a pastel Axanthic. I have another one that has turned inexplicably like dark. This one has not. This one stayed the right color you would expect for these to stay as it ages. Which is why you need to add, like, these are ones that look really nice and bright as babies, but the super pastels, and when you add an extra gene stat, they're going to make them so much better as adults. Fire is a big key on that, which would tell you why we're going to breed this to a super pastel fire het Axanthic. So that means every baby's going to get one copy of pastel. About half the baby should be super pastel, and then you're going to have fire floating around in there too. Half of the baby should be some form of visual Axanthic. Obviously, what we really want to get out of this is a super pastel fire Axanthic. That's the goal. Odds aren't super great, but they're not that bad either. I mean, we really have to catch 3 genes. 1 copy of Axanthic, 1 copy of fire, and 1 copy of pastel to hit that. So it's not like, oh my God, long. It's about as hard as making a killer bee. So about 1 in 8, I think, to catch those 3 genes, if memory serves. I think it's 1 in 8. 1 in 4 to catch 2, 1 in 8 to catch 3, 1 in 16, I think, to catch 4 or something like that. Next up here, this is a Kurt pairing. I would imagine we go through, this one's going to have a chance at being Kurt's favorite pairing. Very simple pairing. But this is something that we haven't done. I don't know why we haven't done it. Just had other things going on that Kurt's been wanting to do for years. So this year, I gave in and said, all right, buddy, you've been asking to do this. We'll fucking give it a shot. And not only that, we're going to try it several different places. So this is a Blitz female. This is our one we produced from our original Blitz that we got. And not all Blitzes are created equal. Just like not all Hurricanes are created equal. Is Blitz and Hurricane the same? I don't know. If they're not, they're real similar. But you can just really see this one's great. You can see how busy it is. You can see all of the what I call the strongman arms going on through there. Just the patterns all there. I mean, this is just what you really want to see out of an adult Blitz. And what are we breeding her to? Well, an adult Blitz. So Kurt's been really wanting to make the really wanting to make the Blitz Kriegs. Get you back in there, girl. So we're going to try to make Blitzkriegs or Super Blitz. Now up here, this one's going through a little bit of treatment right now, so I'm not going to pull her out. But what she is a Bumblebee 100% het clown. Has been proven for us to be het clown, and we're breeding her to the Inchy clown when breeding starts. Again, what I'd really like to see there would be a pastel Inchy clown. That would be what I'm really chasing. I know Kurt does not want Spider in that. That thing tends to throw Spider like it's its damn job, so we'll see. But a pastel Inchy clown is what we'd really like. Now, oh yeah, you think you're going to get fed. Not today, Satan. Come on, you're fine. This is the other pastel xanthic that has turned dark. And I know what somebody's going to think. Is there any relation to this and the super dark one? And the answer is, I don't think so. I'd have to really go back and check. That'd be kind of interesting, actually, now that I think about it. And we've also seen unrelated pastel xanthics have this exact trait happen. So this is something that just kind of randomly happens in your xanthic, and you can see for comparison purposes. So you can see what I'm talking about, how dark this one really is. These are sisters. Okay, and they started off the exact same color, and well, I mean, there you go. Like, it's especially when you start looking in the sides, it's just a night and day difference on the coloration of them. So let me put this one back. There you go, girl. So this one here, we're going to go with a killer zebra bee xanthic. Again, this is just to make some zebra bees and killer zebra bees and that sort of thing is what we're kind of after here. Some pastel xanthics, some super pastel xanthics. That's something that when I first started breeding was really one of my goals to make. We've made a good number of them now, but that doesn't stop me from wanting to continue to make them. So that's what's going on right there. All right, one more ghost to pull out for Kurt here. Oh, hi. Yeah. These tall ones, man, you always got to watch, and you're going to pull your shed out for me. Thank you. I wanted that. This is a straight ghost. This is our oldest ghost. We've had it for, I don't know, a good number of years. We estimate it to be born in 13. We did not produce it. We bought it, and it was already not quite breed sized. It was like 900 grams, I think, when we got it, or something like that. And I think I bought this in, well, I hadn't bought this house yet, so probably 14 or so. Really cool snake, has produced for us. And this one is going to be bred to a lesser spider ghost. So a little different than the pastel super Inchy vanilla ghost. Truth of the matter is, we have so many females with ghosts, we can't work that dude too hard. So we had to put a secondary male in there to get some of these girls done. And so this could give us some lesser ghosts, which is really cool. Some lesser spider ghosts, which also looks really cool. There's a pairing later where we'll show you where we could do some even really cool stuff using that. So that's what's going on here. And this is just an old girl, straight ghost. Super nice long snake, you know. Good body condition to her. I'd like her to be just a little thicker, but she'll get to that. So anyway, that is the end of that rack. There you go, baby girl. I know. All right. Any questions? All right, let's get on to our buzz part. Caleb, which one is your most exciting pairing out of that clutch, out of that rack?
Probably.
Get my pointer out.
If I'm being honest, the true
Well,
ghost.
I would rather you not lie to me. So the true ghost. Why?
I actually really enjoy. Like, I'll be honest, I've been sitting through that thing, and
He's still being
I know,
honest.
right? There was a couple projects that were really exciting, you know, the clown stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when we lost the true ghost, I've been excited for, and there have been several times where I slipped up and have said, I can't wait to cut the true ghost clutch, because it's been such a long breeding season. We were talking about this last night. That was laid early on. That feels like last year, and we should still cut
It does.
and so I am ready to get another shot at that.
Fair enough. I think that's some good reason. Kurt, what is your favorite and why?
The Orange Dream Pastel.
The Big Fat Liar?
Yeah, because this is her year.
This is her year. Yeah. Well, we gave her the Garden Hose male, man. He gets the job done. I'm not going to tell you he does it friendly or nice, but if she's going to have babies, he'll do it. He'll kick one past the goalie. I mean, he's very, very effective at that. For me, ooh, man, this is kind of actually, it's not a hard rack. I don't even know why I'm thinking about this. It's right here. Super Pastel Firehead Exanthic to the Pastel Exanthic. I would really like to make a Super Pastel Fire Exanthic. Those things would be really, really cool. The nice thing, too, is we know everything will be at minimum pastel, so we should have a good chance of getting, Pastel Fire Exanthics as well. But a Super Pastel Fire Exanthic would be just mwah. So that's my favorite clutch there. All right, let's slide over to Patreon and tell you what we're going to keep and what we're going to sell.